This camera saved over 1,000 people during the Second World War, and it did it by building a train. Then there is this camera. This camera took one of the most influential photos of 2025, and it took it back in 1932. Welcome to Rabbittholes, a show with 6 questions, 2 nerds, 1 word, and countless stories. Today, Devan and I challenge each other and explore 6 questions about the word camera that are sure to blow your mind. Let's get into it. Right. Awesome. So, Devan, what's the prompt for this episode today?
Yeah, last week at the end of the episode of Acid, we chose the random word generator and then it threw us the prompt of camera. So, camera is the prompt for today. And I think it was not very tough to zero down on camera last time. So, we both liked the topic and immediately we kind of locked it in. And again, I went into so many rabbit holes while framing this quiz that it was so tough to get out of them because there are so many interesting things that you can cover under camera. Fortunately, unfortunately, some topics got missed because we can only have 3 questions, but I'm excited to show the set to you and also attempt your set as well.
Awesome. So, like we do in rotation, so I believe this is my time to start with the question this time. So,
Yes.
are you ready?
100% excited.
Hello, everyone. Hello, viewers, to episode number 7, which is on camera. And again, along with Devin, this question is also goes out to you guys. So do play along and try to guess the answer before Devin. And in saying that, let us move to question number 1 for you for today. All right. So very simple. Taking a cue from camera, what does a camera give you is a photograph. I want you to name that one famous photograph that these two gentlemen are taking in this picture. And the second part of this question is, we have recently, like very, very recently, seen this photograph used somewhere. So where have we seen this?
Nice. Okay. I think I have seen this one before. I'm not sure if I can get the exact name right, but I think that's the Empire State Building behind. And this photograph is called Lunch Atop a Skyscraper, where some folks are having lunch sitting on the beam of that building that's being constructed. But yeah, I didn't know, wow, these guys had to do so much of the heavy lifting, the camera guys. I mean, to take pics with, those giant cameras back then. So that's amazing to see. But where have we seen this being recreated? Let me think on that. Because I haven't actually come across this being repurposed somewhere. Is it, just to guess, is it anything to do with Zoran Mamdani and his campaign, or his political folks being sitting there and they campaign for his party?
That's a nice train of thought, but not entirely in that sense. Okay, so you're right with the photograph. It is the lunch atop a skyscraper. That's what the title of the photograph is. What clue can I give you here? Think about 2025 as a whole. That's been the theme of the repurposing of this photo.
2025 as a whole. Okay. I'm still unclear on the domain or category of folks that could have recreated this.
Okay. I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
This year, when I say think of 2025 as a whole, this year specifically for pictures and photographs has been a turbulent year because, there has been a lot of discussion about who owns the right to the photographs, who is allowed to use the photographs, are we allowed to repurpose it, reimagine it using different tools that came up in 2025. And where we recently saw this particular image being used is another amazing example of those particular tools using these older photographs to create something new. A little bit of story behind it. Trying to not give you a hint which will be very obvious. So just trying to make you work through it.
Yeah, and I think that's a good clue because I think that leads me to think in the direction of AI. So this may be an AI recreation. And again, top of my head, I can think of, Time magazine, because I think Time magazine's cover photo was AI. So is that linked with this?
Yes, and you are
Wow,
right there.
fantastic.
So this is the famous lunch atop a skyscraper, which was taken. This is the exact photo for the viewers. And the Times Person of the Year for 2025 is the architects of AI, which is all of these CEOs of the different AI companies sitting on the beam, which looks exactly like recreation of that photograph. Yeah, absolutely. What a good answer, Devan, just from that hint, and wow, just too good.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and it's a beautiful question. I mean, again, uh, the beauty of quizzing is one part. I mean, I kind of knew the first part when I looked at it, but I had no clue about the second bit of it. But yeah, your clue really helped me to think in that direction and kind of add 2 plus 2 and then uh, maybe guess something that's logical and voila.
Oh, yeah, awesome. So the image on the left is the lunch out of a skyscraper, which was taken in 1932 as a part of a PR stunt for the Rockefeller Center. So they were constructing one of the biggest centers in New York around that time, and they had a lot of photographs taken for the construction crew. You can also see the Empire State Building in the back, like Devan mentioned, and it was a whole lot of fun basically. And the the thing about this photo is that they didn't really know who the photographer was, so it was being attributed to a lot of different people, and it was actually an unnamed photograph in the Bettman archive. The negative of this was in the Bettman archive. It was misattributed to this photographer called Lewis Hine, but actually the photographer who is taking the photographs is unclear. Like even the pictures of the photographers that you see in the last slide, these were the photographers that were present on that day, but it is unclear if they took this iconic shot, right? But right now, it has been attributed to this guy called Charles C. Evetts because he was the director of photography for the entire Rockefeller Center. So by association, whoever took this photograph worked for him, and that is how he is attributed to clicking this picture. Now, the fascinating thing is that obviously the person of the year, the first time I saw this, I'm like, hey, this is a brilliant use of creative tools or AI. I don't really know if they used AI. No one has come out right and said, we have used XYZ AI to create this shot. But whatever they did is so brilliant. Like they have put all the CEOs of all the AI companies that shaped 2025 for us here. So I'll just list it out who all are there here on this steel beam. One is Jensen Huang, which is the CEO of NVIDIA, Elon Musk, obviously, of XAI, Sam Altman of OpenAI, Mark Zuckerberg of Meta, Lisa Su, who is the CEO of AMD. You see her right there at the end of the image.
Yep.
One is Dario Amodei, who is the CEO of Anthropic, and Demis Hassabis, the CEO of Google's DeepMind is there, and Feifei Li, who is the co-founder of World Labs and the leading AI researcher of this century, honestly. So all of these people
Wow.
are here. They have shaped 2025 for us and most possibly gotten us into a new era of technology. So rightly so, one of the few times a lot of people are commemorated as a person of the year in time. So yeah, that was the
Super, super
rabbit hole I
fun.
wanted to take you on.
Brilliant, brilliant. And again, I'm curious. If you go to the previous slide, who's taken the picture of the cameraman? I'm curious about that.
Wow, that if I asked that question and the answer to this was these people took the photograph of the photographer taking this photograph, that would be crazy.
Yeah, it's actually called the Droste effect, if I'm correct. So basically,
Okay.
Droste was the brand of coffee, and they had this campaign or their packaging where there was
Mhm.
a person holding a cup of coffee, and they were shown on the package. So basically, it's like a picture within a picture within a picture. It's called Droste effect. Uh, so
Nice.
multiple
Yeah.
uh, things from pop culture have used the Droste effect Like there's a Pink Floyd album that uses draw tape within its cover. So basically, if you see a picture within a picture within a picture, it's called that. So I mean, when you said up about the camera,
Wow.
everything, it
Okay.
just struck me that.
Wow. Did not know that. That's so cool. Awesome.
But a lovely, lovely funda. And yeah, again, Time Person of the Year has been always so interesting to know about. And generally, they will also have someone's face below the M of time, which gives
Yeah.
the person devil's
A
horns.
devil's
So,
horns.
yeah. So that way
They
there's a
did that very, very, very famously with Donald Trump, who surprisingly has been the Times Person of the Year twice or thrice, I think, by now.
wow. Okay.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. They might as well have given it to Annoying Orange, but oh, Trump it is. Cool, but a
Originally,
nice.
this was, I was just going to tag on saying that originally this famous accolade was called the Man of the Year back in the day, but obviously they changed it to make it all inclusive. And it's not always one person winning the title of the Man of the Year. But in case of Donald Trump, it is most always just him who will be on the cover. But some joint winners have been Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in 2020. There was in the pandemic times, the workers, medical staff were the joint winners of the Time Person of the Year. Same case with the Ebola workers in 2014. In 2027, the silence breakers was a term who fought against the Me Too movement, who got the Time Person of the Year. Yeah, there's so many amazing rabbit holes you can go down to in this particular thing. Like, I don't know, it's just hard to come out of. Like, what happened? It's just a snapshot of human history, I would say.
Exactly. And whenever there is something which occurs frequently or annually, and it is like prestigious, you'll always want to know what it is. Like, for example, who won the Oscars, all the Premier League or any sports champions like Tour de France, F1, anything that happens annually, or Pulitzer Prizes, something that happens regularly, annually, and it's a prestigious thing, Nobel Awards. So you'll always want to keep an eye out because, over a period of time, there will be only like over a decade, there will be only 10 to 12 winners. And that gives you a snapshot of that decade, like what has gone through it. So it's always fascinating to read up on those things.
Yeah. So that was my rabbit hole and excited to go into yours first question.
Perfect. I think we have had an amazing start. Let me go to my set. One thing common is I also have focused on photographs like you have done.
Nice.
But mine doesn't have lunch atop a skyscraper. I will share my screen in just a bit.
Yeah, no overlaps. Yay.
I am hoping it remains like that. It's like that. Okay. Here's my first question of the set. So, on the left, you can see a very basic plain egg photo. What is the claim to fame of this egg photo that was published in Jan of 2019? And part B is its achievement was surpassed in 2022 by what or who? So, two-part question, and you can tell me both parts, or you can just try to attempt one and then work out the another one.
Right. Okay. So I think I know this, and like you were suggesting, we can have like some sound when you know the answer to something that the thing asks. But I think I just know the first part of it. So okay, let's just do meow meow like you mentioned.
Meow meow, yeah. So for the audience, meow meows is when you kind of pounce on an answer or you know it straight off the bat.
Off the cuff.
Yeah, meow meows for Anurag. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I would say it is the most liked photo on Instagram, this egg in 2019.
That is perfect. Let me give you the points there and then. So most liked photo. Again, you could have said most viewed or most shared, but the perfect answer is most liked photo on Instagram back then. And yeah, let's go to part B and then I can tell about the rabbit hole.
Yes. So part B, because it is 2022, I am going to guess, is it Lionel Messi posting with the World Cup trophy? Is that the photo that surpassed this?
Absolutely spot on. Well done. And this is the entire full house Grand Slam for you. So this is
nice.
Most liked Instagram posts of all time. On the right now is the egg photo, which is like the humble egg photo, but it really got the internet going, and it was the most like pick on Instagram for a long time. Till of course Messi won the World Cup in Qatar in 2022, and he posted, and uh, then I just went into the rabbit hole of what goes into this and what goes into such virality. So this on the right is the handle is World Record Egg, which was created by a British advertisement creative guy called Chris Godfrey. Basically, this photo was taken in 2015 by someone called Sergey Platnow. The backstory to this is Kylie Jenner posted her baby announcement. Very cute photo of her baby, Stormy Webster, on Instagram. This was posted sometime in 2018. And then it became the most liked photo on Instagram that time. So this guy is like, okay, let me see if we can beat Kylie Jenner's photo. And literally the caption to this photo is that this photo, aims to surpass the likes on Kylie Jenner's photo. So I don't know. I have my reservations to this because again, Kylie's photo was very cute and just an announcement of a baby. But internet being internet, people actually joined the bandwagon, and it became the most like photo on Instagram for almost 3 years. It is crazy how people join into these things, and then of course people went to Kylie's photo or the original photo, and they were putting comments like, "Hey, the egg won," or "Hey, you got yoked," or someone has tweeted the egg beat you. So
Oh my God.
it's funny, yeah. I mean, it's funny how people like trolling, or they just like being funny on the internet.
Yeah.
So this really caught on, and then the the biggest thing was this account just has 3 photos right now, and along with this there are 2 other photos. Uh, this also surpassed Despacito music video. So at that time,
Wow.
where around 2019, it also became the most liked post on any media platform. So that's something. And then
That's next level.
yeah, that's next level. You really don't imagine that this kind of popularity will come to this album photo. And of course, Kylie also had her take on this. So she basically broke an egg on a pavement, and she kind of responded to it in her own way. Some other things that, and then I went into rabbit holes. So what are some other silly things that caught on? What are some other silly, stupid things that went viral? So there was this naming poll that was taken in UK of a boat that was the boat of the British Antarctica Survey, and they wanted to name that boat. Uh, the So the names were suggested by people, and BBC radio presenter called James Hand, he jokingly said, "Let's call this boat Boaty McBoat Face." Okay, that's it. And imagine which auction won. Like it had almost majority of votes, and people wanted Boaty McBoat Face to be the name, and it just caught on. The other options suggested were "It's bloody cold here." And of course, these were not chosen. Eventually, RRS Sir David Attenborough was chosen. But also, they also committed that one of the subboards or one of the submarines will be called Boti McBoat Face. But yeah, this is how internet latches onto stupid things, and I'm all in for that because because you never know what normal plain silly leg pulling thing you'll post, and suddenly people are with you. But it's funny nonetheless. And
Wow.
yeah,
That's
so
insane.
and then I just also went into the list of which are the top like posts on Instagram. So of course, this one, the one with Messi holding a World Cup trophy, it's a carousel. So obviously, the number of views kind of uh, multiply rather than a static photo. But it's still the most liked one as well. So 75 million likes on that. The egg one now is the second most liked, which is 61 million. Third one is again Messi. He's in bed with the World Cup trophy. That is at 54 million. Fourth one is an Indian entry, and that's what I want to talk about. And I want to really give a shout out to this creator called Kishore Mondal. Not that he needs a shout out from us. I mean,
He should shout us out.
I hope that happens. But hats off to Kishore Mondal. His reel, where he's singing the song Jeene Laga Hoon, is the fourth most liked post on Instagram as of today,
Wow.
with 52 million likes. That's something.
Wow.
That's something. Yeah. And of course, then in the top 20, you have Messi, Ronaldo posts. There are 12 of them. So Ronaldo joining Al Nassr, or their photo where they are playing chess for Louis Vuitton. So all those combined, there are 12 Messi, Ronaldo posts in the top 20 most liked Instagram posts. One of them also, recent one, is an entry from Taylor Swift when she announced her engagement with Travis Kelce, saying that your English teacher is getting engaged to your PT teacher. So that was pretty cute. So it also features in the top 20. But yeah, this is how it is, man. Like, there are some serious posts where Messi is holding the World Cup trophy, which is like an achievement which should be talked for ages. Then there is this guy singing. Then there is engagement announcement, and then we have a simple like making it to the second spot on the most liked Instagram post of all.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I did not know all of these posts existed, but this became such a viral hit. But when you spoke about Moti Magbot face, that just jogged this memory in my mind of me reading this or like watching this video on one thing where whenever internet has been asked to do something, like to vote on something, it has never ended up well. It's always like either, the naming convention has been, okay, Moti Magbot face, or you name the top votes will be to Adolf Hitler or something like that. But
Yeah.
one thing that actually happened, I think, was in 2012, was Walmart did a campaign with Pitbull. They had to give out concert tickets and stuff. That was the entire shtick, that Pitbull is partnering up with Walmart and we will get him to your state, your local Walmart to perform for you. He'll perform in the store and all. And they put out a Facebook post. Facebook was bigger back in 2012. So they put out a Facebook post saying that where would you want him to perform? And entirely based on the votes that fans gave. Guess where this dude had to go and perform because of this Facebook post?
Oh, they adhered to these silly requests?
They did, which is very crazy, because the maximum votes went to this one remotest Walmart in Alaska.
My
Like,
God.
he had to get down from a plane and travel some 8 hours by road to get to this Walmart. And it was like a one room of, like, very small room, and there were hardly 10 people there, but kudos to him that he actually went and like performed and did some fan interaction there. But that just jogged that memory of, man, it never works out when
Yeah.
you ask the internet for a poll.
Yep. It's ruthless out there. I mean, you will put
Yeah.
something hoping that people will give their genuine opinion, but people like to be little snarky and sassy on the web.
Awesome. Wow.
Cool. I think,
This was
yeah. So yeah, this is what camera let us do. So amazing. Let's go with your question too.
awesome. Let me share my second question of today. Question number 2 for you is an etymology question. So, this is obviously connected to camera in some way, but let me give you the etymology of it. It comes from the Latin word ex, which means cuttlefish, the sea creature, cuttlefish, the one which looks like a squid. So the word literally is that Latin word for that. During the Renaissance times, it became a classical writing style. So you see the picture on the left, it's a classical Da Vinci drawings. This style is called X, right? And it was used very widely by master painters, master artists, anyone who's inventing anything. Blueprints from back in the day, any education material back in the day was this X. Later down the line, as this word evolved, the word stayed the same, but it became a film cliche, which is a go-to visual shortcuts in movies and TVs to depict poverty or the past. So I want you to guess what the word X is.
Nice. What a wonderful framing. And again, I don't know this off the cuff, but I think I can work it out. So from your last hint that says film cliche, I think I'm thinking about stereotype and how that also comes from there. But since this is a camera quiz and you're saying it depicts the past and all, I'm guessing, is it flashback?
That is a good guess, but no, not flashback. But yeah, you're thinking on the right lines.
Okay, and go to visual shortcut movies to depict poverty of the past.
One hint I can give you here is I have included the image for a reason, not because of what's written on there, but because of what it is.
I have one more guess. You know how these days we condemn that Netflix, whenever it has to show Arab culture or African culture, they will just put things in sepia mode, so that it's yellow. So is it sepia? It may also be the etymological connection.
What a beautiful crack. What a beautiful crack. It is the sepia filter. One of the
Wonderful.
first ever filters to come on Instagram and on our phones, on iPhones and stuff like that. And it's interesting that it actually comes from this cuttlefish ink, right? They used to use this cuttlefish as writing tools, this ink that came from cuttlefish as writing tools. And it was literally this brown color, the one that you see here. That's literally the color of cuttlefish ink. And that's
Okay.
exactly what sepia is. So you see the image on top. One is the left one is the actual real life thing. And one on the right is after applying the sepia filter, it gets like a very brownish, earthy tones into it. Of course, Da Vinci used it a lot. And yeah, this is a way Hollywood movies depict this poverty and backward countries. What a crack, man! That was too good.
Lovely, lovely, Fernand. I think your clue was so on point when you said that just focus on the image, not for the writing, but for the image itself. So I think that, and then, again, the etymological roots of sepia kind of hinted to something sea, something fish.
Yes.
So that, and then, of course, connecting that with how, these platforms depict Arab nations, with that music. And there was reel that also is viral, how they depict Arab nations. So, of course, you will have the sepia mode on, then you will have that music playing around, which is very Arabic tone, and, very, very, where there'll be dust everywhere, very stereotypical. So nice. I think the
Absolutely.
clues led me to this, and wonderful framing, and love the fun.
So this was not always the case. It started with this director called Steven Soderbergh. Amazing director, director of Erin Brockovich and classic movies like that. His movie in 2000 called Traffic was set in 3 different places, and to show the different, the differences between the places, he used a sepia, a yellow tone filter on top of the place, which was shot in Mexico. And that is how it started, that it exploded in real world cinema, that always when you're showing Mexico, it's always a sepia filter, it's always a yellow graded filter. That it didn't stop there, right? This phenomena is called a Mexico filter effect. Or more recently, just to not single out Mexico, it is the poor country filter that Hollywood uses. So for Japan, it uses a filter with lots of neons and darker shadows. Then for colder countries, it uses a blue filter. For if they are depicting Russia, it always has a blue filter on. It always has the shadows even more lowered than if they are showing something like a Finland or a Sweden. But again, Finland, Sweden would also have a blue filter, but with a little bit of more um, sunlight thrown in. For India, again, with that typical background music that they use, they will have this yellow filter on. Same as with Mexico, same with Brazil. But Brazil has seen a lot of ups and downs with it's being started as a yellow filter, and now it is just too colorful, with every part of Brazil just looking like a carnival. So it's fascinating to see how movies try to depict different places to us.
Yeah, very cool. Very interesting. I did not know that there was some set pattern to putting filters for depicting countries. Nice. Wonderful question and wonderful follow.
Yeah, and all this comes from a simple camera filter that you used to see a lot on your phones before. It's died down for us now, but one of the OGs for sure.
Yeah. And actually, like if you think about Instagram itself, the logo is, again, I don't want to, I don't want to do spoilers or something because you may have some question on that ahead. But yeah, just thinking about it, like Instagram has the camera logo now, and how that simple camera logo is basically shown everywhere. That that it's focused on pics or videos or something that's taken from camera. It has those other filters. So I think we should do something on the filters of Instagram as well. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It would have been much easier if it did this back in 2014 because there were just what 10 filters back there.
Yeah,
Now, and after it made it open source that anybody can upload any filters there, now it's just like exploded. And yeah, but some filters are really, really creative, especially the AI ones or like the AR ones, which put some things on your face or gives it an entirely different thing. It has just changed how we look at the world, I feel. I mean, even just creating content like we were talking about, right? Like we look at something aesthetically, and I would really give props to Instagram on that. Like even though there are lots of allegations that hey, screen time is increasing or whatever, but your perspective of looking at different things as a human race has really, really taken a drastic turn in this century
true.
because of social media apps, I would say. And especially because of Instagram, because a lot of things are visual, right? Right? Like
Mm.
previously, I would say only photographers would have that eye, but now it has become such commonplace for everyone to go into those things. And I think this is the first time in human history that we are really appreciating different aspects of beauty for of different things.
Correct. Yeah, and though it's all digital, it's still very appealing. I mean, the only difference is that it's maybe some can argue that it's not real. I mean, it's just perception, but still, it's very compelling.
Absolutely.
Cool. I think very nice segue and talk there. Let's go to my second question.
Yeah, that
And
went philosophical.
okay, question two. So on the left, you can see a book cover that says "Life: 100 Photographs That Changed the World." So Life
Mhm.
magazine released this in 2003, and these were some 100 photographs that were most influential photographs in the history of human race. Again, it was compiled by editors and writers and authors. And it also had four segments to it: science and culture and politics and war. So, multiple segments to it. And now I want you to answer these things. There will be some photographs that I will be describing. So, like for example, there are some photographs which you can directly imagine what they were. The title is basically describing what uh, the photo is about, like the moon landing, right, which you can see there,
Right.
or Abraham Lincoln, which who you can see there, or
Correct.
a tank man. So you can imagine that guy is in front of the tank. So
Yeah.
these are very straightforward. Where you can imagine or what the subject of the photograph is. Now I will show you some titles of photographs and you need to guess what the photograph is about. So then there is
Wow.
certain
Okay.
backstory to why that is the title and what went behind that, right? So that's the idea I wanted to check with.
Nice. A mini
So
game
the first,
within a game.
yeah, it's like a game. First one is
Nice.
Terror of War. I've also given you the year. It is 1972. So
Phew.
can you
Okay.
describe what this photo is about? Who's the subject of this photo or what's happening? The Terror of War, 1970.
Is it the photo of that the parched African soil with the children asking for water? Is that the one here?
Oh, I think, yeah, I think I know what you're saying. I think it's that photo of that very weak African kid where the vulture is
Yeah.
sitting behind him. But no, that's
Yeah.
also for the child and the vulture. So not that, but
Okay.
yeah, again, you're thinking on the right lines. But this is more wartime related. I mean,
Wartime.
which war can you think of during the
1972.
1970s? Yeah.
Is it something in the Middle East or
No, not Middle East. Okay, I'll give you a couple of hints here to
uh,
work out. The photographer is Nick Ut, Nick and UD. Uh, so he was basically just filming there, and then he saw certain people running towards him, and then he was shocked, and he also tried to immediately pour water on them. And the subject of this photograph was saying, too hot, too hot. So she was screaming, too hot, too hot. So he kind of poured water on her
Whoa.
and
Okay.
kind of moved him. So that's your hint.
Oh my God. Is this like someone's on fire? And
Yes. So there is one photograph where the monk kind of
yeah,
said,
that was what I was thinking of.
yeah, but it's not that photo.
That's
The
not the one.
simulation of the monk, that's not that photo, but that's also iconic and that is also featured in this 100 influential photos list. Okay. So, okay, I'll
Okay.
give a very giveaway hint. The subject of the photo is Thi Kim Phuk. Thikimphuc. So, you
Oh,
know that it's
is
from which region?
Japan?
Not Japan.
Is it
No, not Japan. So this is the
Vietnam?
Nepal. Yeah, the Vietnam War.
Oh
So this is the
my
photo.
God.
Very moving, like you know,
Oh my
kind of
God.
riveting. Yeah. So this is the girl in the center, Thi Kim Phuk, who had knee palm all over her, and she was saying or screaming, "Too hot, too hot!" And this photographer Nick Hood kind of poured water on her, and yeah, I mean, this photo really describes what was going on in Vietnam that time. So basically,
Wow.
the Vietnamese force actually accidentally kind of put a load of napalm in this village, and a lot of people were affected, and they were running around, and yeah, kind of really in need of help. So
Ouch.
yeah,
It's such a
that's photo
sad
number one.
photo.
It's called Terror of War. Yeah. Next one is called Pillars of Creation, and it was shot in 1995. So, do you know what this
Yeah.
photo entails? Yeah, tell us.
This one I know for all the astrophysics nerds out there. It's the nebula which is birthing the stars in the universe. So it's shaped like a claw or like a tower. It's literally pillar of creation because it's a birthplace of a lot of stars.
100% spot on. This is the photo, so
Yeah.
iconic. So, this is called uh, Pillars of Creation. It was captured by Hubble telescope.
Hmm.
This is from the Eagle Nebula. And you know, these elephant trunks or interstellar gas, like you said, they form like towers or pillars, and such a beautiful, magnificent, and what an iconic photo this is. And this is something that is 7,000 light years away from us. So
Insane.
something beautiful exists so far away. That's so good to know. So yeah, wonderful crack. That is Pillars of Creation. Here's your question three. Into the Jaws of Death. Don't mind the graphic on the right. It's just something that PowerPoint came up with. So
Hmm.
Into the Jaws of Death is the name of this photograph. It was captured in 1944 by someone called Robert Sargent.
This immediately makes me think of like a shark bite or something. Like
Yeah, Jaws
a
definitely leads you to shark, but that time the jaws of death were someone else. It was not shark.
Jaws of Death was someone. What was the timeline?
1944. You can just describe what.
1944. So
If you can even describe the scene, that will be good enough for.
1944 must be in the World War II times, right? So
Yes.
the Jaws of Death. Where would the Jaws of Death be? Is it concentration camps? Photo of
Good
a
guess.
concentration camp?
Not the concentration camps. So this is again towards the end of the war. So when the Allied forces were kind of penetrating
Oh,
the
is
opponent
it
area.
okay? Oh, okay. Then I was thinking of the German invasion of uh, Russia, but not that,
Not,
right?
not. Cool. I'll just give it to you. This
Yeah,
is
yeah. Just I think just go ahead.
sure. This is the photo. Wow,
Oh,
like
I've not
what a
seen this
capture
before.
this is. Yeah. So this is basically U.S. soldiers and Allied forces soldiers going into Omaha Beach, and this is during the Normandy landings. So
Okay.
yeah, this photo again, if you can see on the top right that it's mentioned into the jaws of it. So that's what this guy
Wow.
called Robert Sargent. Very, very iconic. This is the last one. Again, there are multiple like these, but I chose some photos that have a very different name and they don't really directly connect to the subject of the photo. Like into the jaws of wouldn't directly lead you to this photograph, but it's iconic as well. So here's the last one, the Black Power salute in
This
1960.
is some sports photo, if I'm not wrong.
Correct. So
Is it the photo of the three athletes who are standing on the podium? Or
it's 100% that. Well done.
yes,
That is yes.
that one.
Answer. So this is called a Black Power salute photo of 1968. So this was during the Mexico 68 Olympics. So again, a very, very interesting backstory to this. So this guy on the top is Tommy Smith, and the two African American athletes who are raising hands are Tommy Smith and John Carlos. The guy up front is Peter Norman, who is an Australian athlete. So what had happened is uh, these guys had won the event, and they wanted to protest against the segregation and the racism in the US. So what they wanted to do is raise their fist, which became so iconic, uh, uh, after they did that, and they wanted to, uh, do their protest bit like this when the Star Spangled Banner was being played. What had happened is John Carlos had forgotten his gloves. So this guy, Peter Norman, told that, why don't you guys use a single pair of gloves? So if you can see in the photo, it's a single pair of gloves with Tommy Smith
Right.
wearing it on the right hand and John Carlos wearing it on the left hand. So there's a single pair of glove because they had he had forgotten his own glove. And one another interesting addition to this is when Peter Norman passed away, uh, Tommy Smith and John Carlos were his pallbearers, during his funeral.
Oh,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's
Okay.
so iconic. Yeah. So this is the Black Power salute from 1968, and it's really started a movement after that. So yeah, those were my
Wow. Yeah.
questions. I thought, just go into some iconic photographs from the last century and see, where we, where we end up.
Loving the fact that camera is freely allowing us to take a trip down history. It's too good, too good. Awesome. Loved this. Loved guessing, but no, loved hearing the stories more. It was just absolutely like too good. After this, I'm just gonna go and watch all those 100 photographs for sure.
Yes, and you should also read about that because some quick captures, become so iconic later in human history. Like for example, the one photo that's also featured there is of the hand of Mrs. Ronjin. Basically, that's the first X-ray ever taken.
First X-ray ever.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So William Ronjin did the first X-ray on his wife's hand. There is that. There is in 1999, I think there is a photo of photo from the first cell phone. There's a first cell phone photograph of a baby. It's so amazing. I mean, again, very small moments back then, but they leave kind of indelible impressions on the sands of time. See, something
I
like
swear. No, I'm just thoroughly enjoying this episode as a history nerd. So, wow, this was fun. Cool. I'll move to my third question. Question number 3 coming up for you is okay. So I'm talking about a particular camera company X, which was founded by Ernst Leitz Weltzar, and it was named after the founder and the product it sold. Now the story is that under its second owner, the company sent a huge number of employees overseas. Like unnatural amount of transfers had happened, specifically to countries like UK, France, Hong Kong, and USA. So this was a global brand. And
that.
during this particular set of time under its second owner, it had a lot of transfers to all these countries. This is mysterious for some reason, as I want you to guess what the reason was for this massive transfers, which actually mysteriously died down by the early 1940s. So, yeah, let's just go from there and see where you land up.
Yeah. I want to take a moment to appreciate the framing, like the three parts. It just reminds me of the pledge, the turn, and the prestige. It's so good. And the story in itself is so intriguing. Again, I have to work this out because I don't know this immediately. So my first guess is, again, because I know this company shut down and went bankrupt. So my first guess is going to be Polaroid. Is it Polaroids?
No, this is not Polaroid.
Okay. Okay. I think it might be just easier for me to work out the mystery first and then come to the company? Because
Yes.
yeah, that might
Yeah,
be a
I think
little.
that's the main question that I'm asking anyways. What is the mystery? The name of the company is optional. If you work that out, it's Sone Pe Suhaga.
Okay. So I think the job transfers would be, first guess I'm guessing it is spies. So basically the spies, or the secret agents, they would need some kind of photographic evidence, or uh,
Mhm.
something that needs to be shot in enemy territory. So is it that?
Good thinking, but my cross to that would be, why would it die down in 1940s? Why would it not continue?
Yeah. It should have been even more during the Cold War. True, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, what came in 1940s that would have made this particular technology defunct? I think that's something that I can think of.
You want some hint?
Okay. Yeah, I can do it one hand.
Okay, I'll sprinkle some hints so that you can work this out. Uh, the huge number of job transfers were from a particular community. They were not random people. They were from a particular community. That's what I can tell you right now.
Okay. Okay. So I am thinking, now that you say that, I'm thinking these are Jews. And why would it die down? Because, I mean, because obviously the war ended, then uh, and then these Jews were probably settled into different countries. So is it that? Is the funda correct?
You are close, but this is not the funda. Like why the transfers happened is not correct. You are correct with the Jews. That's it.
Okay.
So you're right there. You're in and around the area. You just need
Okay.
to.
So is it like, for example, is it uh, so Schindler's List, right? That guy created a company to extradite Jews and kind of save them from the tyranny and help them settle in different countries. So is it that, like, this is a phony company that sent people on transfers so that they can be saved?
Okay, so I'll give it to you. It's not a phony company. It's actually
Okay.
a legit company called Leica. So earns lights with camera. So one of the OG expensive camera manufacturers, and now has cemented a place in camera Hall of Fame as Leica, and a lot of smartphones have Leica sensors in it these days. So this particular piece of history is called the Leica Freedom Train, which, like you described, Jews from their company to settle abroad, to save them from being transported to the concentration camps. It's
Right.
an interesting, fascinating story behind this. It started off as, this entire company was run by a lot of people, a lot of native Jews, a lot of native Germans as well. But when Adolf Hitler started getting into power in Germany, Ernst Leitz too, who is the son of the founder, got a lot of calls saying that, hey, we are feeling threatened, we don't know what to do, and stuff like that. So initially, this guy started off with providing financial aid to his employees by, either by purchasing their lands, or they're purchasing whatever material they have at above market rates, and just providing them financial stuff. But as the time went on and the persecution started happening more, he thought he had to do something more drastic. So at that time, there was this concept of the death trains in Germany, which was basically all of Jews stuffed together in a train and taking them to Auschwitz or any concentration camps there. He started a counterpart to that called the Laika Freedom Train. So what he used to do is, under the guise of having job openings in different countries, like especially their allied countries like UK, US, and all the other countries abroad. He resettled these people into all of these different countries and gave them jobs, gave them a camera as a cover, like a camera as a cover, and told them, hey, we don't really have jobs here, but you go do your thing. And that's how he started saving them up. And yeah, and and in the early 1940s, in 1939, Germany shut down its borders, and it became increasingly difficult for him to continue with these operations. And there were a lot of moments where the German government at that time tried to pin the blame on him, but he covered his tracks so well that he was never accused. His daughter was caught in a trial because of this, but came out unsacked. And this just goes down into the history books as one of the bravest things a camera company has ever done.
Fascinating, man. Like, so good. And I think that last line that you highlighted, courage and compassion can come at the darkest of times. Wow. Beautiful.
Absolutely. Like, who would have thought a simple camera company had this history? I mean, I was absolutely blown when I read about this. And the I reached here because I was researching on the Canon versus Nikon wars. Those were like, that is the first thing when you think of professional photographers. They're like, oh, are you Canon or are you Nikon? That also started with some wartime rivalry happening among them. And then there was this other companies that they crushed, Leica's market share at that time, etc., etc. Then I started reading up on Leica, and I'm like, this thing, whatever this dude has done, it's mind blowing.
Yeah. I mean, same. Like, I'm just happy that, you and to some extent me as well, we are not just taking the first thing that comes when you search camera. Like, of course, even I also searched about Canon, Nikon. I even went to Kodak, which is basically, George Eastman's company, and he chose the letter K because that's one of his favorite letters. So I read up all on that, but I think that's done and dusted, and a lot has been talked about it. So, we go a step beyond and go to the next level of rabbit hole, and that's where the real fun is.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, anybody who is doing such a brave act has a special place in my heart, especially keeping his entire business running on the side and him being safe in the middle, and also being so good to other people. And just, man, I know this dude has gone to heaven or something like that, if you guys believe in that. But
Sure.
I mean, it's such an inspiring story. This is
100%. Yeah, very, very amazing to know and be aware of this. So good. Perfect. I think we are ready for the last question of the day, and we are still 100% no overlap. I can assure you, because my next question is not on anything that you have spoken of till now. So I think episode 7, that means 42 questions in, there is no overlap. Let's see if we can reach the 50 mark.
45 counting unwise questions.
Oh, my bad. I forgot that. Yeah, so almost there. 50 questions without any overlap. Let me go my next question. Okay, here's question number 3, a very simple one-liner, but it may also come off as what they call cuisine parlance cold styles, which is you either know it or you don't know it. But that's why I have kept it like that, because I wanted to have some, fun with you. So question number 3 is, when is World Photography Day celebrated? So you have 1 by 365 probability of getting this right, even if you don't know. And why is it celebrated? That's the most important bit that you can work out still. I don't assume that you would know this, but you can take a shot. So when
Yeah, you would be right. I don't know this.
even if you get the month right, you want to take a shot in the last. That's like, again, 12 possibilities.
I'm gonna say, is it somewhere in August?
What are the odds? You're right. This is in August.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like, by the way, it's like that Rocky phenomenon. So, remember Rocky movie, when he's fighting, I think, Ivan Drake or Apollo Creed, one of them, or Clubber Lang, I don't know, one of the 3. So basically, Paulie comes and says to him that, hey, Rocco, what's happening? And he says, Paulie, I'm seeing 3 of them. Basically, he's kind of dazed and he's seeing 3 of them. So Paulie says, hit the one in the middle. So I think that's what you have done. If you have a spectrum, just go for the center. So I think July and
Absolutely.
August would have been a
That's
good guess,
what
and
I
that's correct. You got it right. So
Okay.
this is actually on August 19th. Now, more importantly,
Oh, okay.
why is it celebrated? Do you want to take a shot at this, or there was basically one person who was kind of the founding father of photography, and his invention or his creation led to this day being coined. So, do you know who this person is? The timelines are around 1830s. 1837 is when he created this, and 1839 is when the French government declared this day in honor of his invention as World Photography.
Okay. I should have known this, that who created the camera. I assumed it was Edison, but if it's French, it's not Edison.
Yeah. So basically, he created a version of the camera and how
Okay.
the ops work of it. And
Okay.
yeah, that kind of was revolutionary that time. But of course, this became obsolete later on, and better technologies came in, more cheaper technologies came in. But this was kind of the first, way that people took. So cool. I think it's again you know
Do
it or you don't know it. So let me show
right.
you. So this person is called Louis Daguerre. He was
Okay.
the guy who's the founding father of photography. So his invention called daguerreotypes, that technology was first used in cameras, and that's how you made photographs or saw photographs. So his photograph of Samuel Morse is very famous for that matter. So this was in 1837, and in 1839, the French government then declared in honor of his invention as August 19th, because that's the day he kind of showed this to the world or released this to the world. So hence on August 19th, it's World Photography Day. Uh, Also, the interesting bit is in daguerreotypes, you don't get any negatives, right? So basically, you are not able to recreate any photos. That was a limiting factor. Basically, you get each photo is unique, each click is unique, right?
Right.
So you can't recreate. So that was kind of a limiting factor, and it made it a little bit more costlier as well. And of course, 5, 7 years down the line, better technologies came in, so this became defunct. But this kind of set the photography in motion back then. So this is Louis Daguerre, and yeah, daguerreotypes were a thing that was the starting point of photography that is today, and hence we celebrate World Photography Day in his honor.
Wow. Interesting. I should have just guessed Louis because probability of that was too high when you said French. But yeah. Wow. I
Yeah,
did not
100%.
know that. Like this was no negatives in the photograph is just insane to think of now.
Yeah, no negatives in our quiz and no negatives in daguerreotypes.
Yeah.
That's a prediction.
Make sure you play with us because you don't get any points docked if you get the wrong answer. Neither are we giving you anything in return if you get it right, but that's up for discussion.
True. So yeah, that was my set, and I think with this we've come to the end of the episode, which again has been so fascinating, interesting, full of
Absolutely.
new trivia bits, and wow, loving this. And thank you to the viewers, to all the listeners who have stayed till now, and I hope you have learned a lot more as well with along with us. And we'll see you in the next episode. Till then, as we say always, stay curious and do not forget to like, share, subscribe, save, and tell your friends about rabbit holes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, stay curious. Like Devin said, if you want, send us some of your questions that you have around the camera or any of the word that we have covered so far. We would love to go deeper into any rabbit holes, to be very honest, because that's what this channel is all about. Just, reading and learning and sharing it with the wider audience. And we love doing it so far. And in saying that, I am actually excited what the random word for the next episode is going to be, because camera was amazing to just work on for the entire week, and I want something even more juicier than this, so let's hope for it.
Yeah, and some prompts are when you think, oh my god, what can be made on this? Like for example, acid. It was such a difficult prompt because to make interesting stuff on acid, which I think eventually we did, and we covered good base there. But good pun, right? We covered good base in acid. So yeah, so we did explore a lot of interesting domains there. So with something like camera, this guys do just you have
Yeah,
to reject
absolutely.
more than then you have to think, oh, what's the next funda going to be about? You have already
Absolutely.
so many things lined up. So I think I'm excited to see if we can get some prompt like that in our next episode. Cool. Should I
Awesome.
share my screen or you already sharing?
Yeah, I have pulled it up. Let me share.
Perfect. Let's go. Let's see what we have for next week.
Yeah, can you see?
Yeah. All right. 6 words. Let's generate.
Reset and generate. Ooh, okay.
Wow. Equation, line, concentrate, large, margin, and surgeon. What do you think?
I have one clear winner here, but I am only gravitating towards one word, so I'll leave it up to you. If you want to reroll, I am up for that as well.
I like line or large. Both again kind
Oh,
of cover lot many domains. Uh, I think there can, I think line or large can be good. Very generic that way. Can entail a lot of things. So I think both of them can be good thought starters. What's it?
I was gravitating more towards equation. I'll be very honest.
Oh, oh. Okay. Again, I don't know. Equation. I think it's tricky. If you get it right, it's
It's
going to be
tricky. It
amazing.
is tricky.
It's a tricky one. Like, doesn't immediately connect a lot of dots.
My problem
Which
with
which a line
large,
is. A line is a collection of.
just for that pun, I'm okay with going with line, honestly.
Yeah, it just came to me. Okay.
My
Yeah,
problem
I
with
think line.
large is that it is too large of a
Hmm.
selection.
Fair,
Like
fair. Yeah.
you can literally be any, like make thing, like it's about perspective, right? At that point.
Subjective. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. I think line is fine then. Line can be
Okay.
something which can be a new topic.
Okay. I will make some equation questions in line because I can do
Why
that.
not? Why not? Perfect. So are we
No
freezing on line?
promises, but yes. Let's lock in line as the word for the next episode.
All right. So next in line for episode 8, we have line. Thank
We
you
have
guys
line.
for listening in. All right.
All
See you
right.
next time.
Awesome. See you next time. I am Anurag.
I am Devin and this is Rabbit Hole.